kind of comb it over, and then like when it gets to this part, I kind of like go back a little bit. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing all right. We got another haircut tutorial for you guys. In this video, we are going to do a side part with a hard part, combed over. We're going to connect everything, and funny enough, this is my last haircut tutorial model's brother, and so they have a similar hair texture, and I'm gonna go straight to clipper over comb. If you missed that last video, go check it out, where I started with shear work and I realized really quickly with this coarse texture hair, it's better just go straight for the clipper over comb. But we sectioned it off and we're preparing it because he wants some off the top. He wants it to come over with a hard part with a fade. So that's what we're gonna do. And so we're gonna start here with the length that we want on the longest length we want on the sides, the longest length that we want on the top, and prepare it for that blurry fade that we're gonna put on. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and connect the hangover, is what I like to call it. Anything that's gonna fall back from the crown into the back of his head, we're gonna go ahead and connect. Now anything that is on the top, we are going to start to cut squared. And so he told us what length he wanted off in the front, and so this will be our guide for the rest of the top. Now if you notice, we did connect one side, but we didn't connect the other because it should be disconnected. His left side should be disconnected because that's where our hard part is going to be, and you need enough length difference from the side and the top for that hair to kind of comb over and expose that hard part. Hopefully that made sense. He's got a lot of hair just like his brother. All right, so at this point we are going to cut the hair triangular because if we go straight across and connect it to the sides here, then we're gonna lose all that length that we cut in the beginning of the whole process. And I just went through here and just kind of refined a little bit more. Once I've cut the desired length on top, I just want to go through it one more time and just make sure nothing's disconnected or hanging over.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
All right, so now we're gonna use my wall with the Filthy Blends modification to go ahead and clear this bulk. And I believe I have a number 3 on there, but it's the and it's number 3, so could be a number 4. I think it's a number 4 actually. Number 4, the and is number 4, the purple guards with the double magnets. But most of my fade work is gonna be with the babeless guards, so you can still follow along with the color guide. Yeah, and so yeah, we used the number 4 a little bit there, but now let's go ahead and start our initial guideline. We're gonna do this all the way around, and notice I'm gonna keep the blend a little bit lower, or the initial guideline a little bit lower. He has a lot of space to work with on the side of his head, and so we don't really want to stretch the fade out too much, but you know, by starting out a little bit lower, we can still have a nice gradient blend and keep that fade a little bit lower below his parietal ridge. And just keep in mind, guys, if you look to the right of his ear on the temple of his head, it's definitely lighter in that area than the rest, right? And so we got to keep that in mind when we start to do our fade. So we have the blade all the way open now. Keep an eye out on that temple area because it might look lighter there, and so you're gonna have to make some adjustments when you're doing the blend so that it looks even and balanced, right? You don't want to look super light in the, you know, over there by the hairline, and then the rest of the fade looks darker, right? So keep in mind, it doesn't necessarily happen, but anytime you see any sign of like less density, you can see some scalp, that might mean you need to make some adjustments. So once we've done the blade all the way open, all the way around, and it's nice and even, we'll go ahead and start to blend out that bottom line. You can start from top to bottom, from bottom to top. In this instance, I'm going all the way close and I'm opening my lever as I go up, but I don't go past that second guideline. And one of the things typically in the back of the head, especially below the occipital bone, when you're trying to blend out that bottom line, it might not blend out as easily as on the side. So if you notice, I pulled out my trimmers there just to kind of flick out that bottom line a little bit. Whereas if you notice on this side, that bottom line just kind of melts, like it vanishes right away, right? And I don't know if you guys noticed, but my model, he's talking a lot, and it's because I feel like we're having a deep conversation with everything that's going on in the world, you know, justice for George Floyd, and you know, just hoping everybody's staying safe. I know 2020 has been crazy, man. It's been an insane year. And you know, one of the places where those conversations happen and people kind of share their thoughts, it's during a haircut. It's in the barbershop. And so anytime you see any of my models talking, it's because your service isn't just a haircut. That's not what a barber just is. A barber is more than that, and that's why a barbershop is so important for the community. And it's our job to listen and offer perspective. And I just wanted to share that because you don't see it in these videos because they're tutorials, but I think that's important to share. I don't know, you guys tell me in the comments. So now we were using our number one guard all the way open, and to take out that guideline that's still there, we're gonna go with our half guard all the way open and close it as needed until that line is blended. You can move and you can, you know, operate in 1 inch sections and blend out lines in each 1 inch section if you get lost easily, or you can go with the, you know, the half guard all the way open, all the way around, then close it some, go all the way around. It's essentially the same steps or the same process. You just kind of taking, you know, going about it a different direction, right? And if you notice, I'm turning my clipper at an angle here again because the hair growth pattern, it matters. When you're blending, you want to go against the grain. This is why I tell people all the time, I use the same techniques regardless of texture of hair. If I'm going against the grain, that's what's important regardless of texture. Okay, at this point we are using our number 3 guard. It's all the way closed. We'll probably use our 2 guard underneath that and blend down with a 1.5 guard. Yeah, so I believe here I have my number 2 guard all the way open, and then I'll close it, and again I'll follow it up with that 1.5 guard.
Another one?
Alright guys, and this is the final step. I kept telling you guys about fading down, going to the 1.5 guard eventually, and you can see this is where everything comes together. Now if you do see some subtle dark areas, you could drop back down to that 1 guard or drop down to any guard you need to, but at this point it's more so about finding little dark areas and lightening them up so that your fade is well balanced. And then when we put that line on it, that lineup on it, it's gonna make the blend pop, and then we can go back and detail some more if we need to. Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of this C cup. And you guys can see already how the blend just looks so much better now. Sheesh. So I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit and let you guys follow along, because we're gonna repeat the same thing here on this side. And you can see, like, I can switch up the angles and the fade still looks nice and balanced, still looks nice and gradient. In the back here, I'm definitely going to take some time to detail it. You guys already know, especially if you've been cutting for a while, but below the occipital bone could be the toughest place to blend, especially with a canvas like this, with this hair texture. So you want to take your time back here. And the rose gold skeleton FXs I'm using right now, these are my hitters. Of course, nothing gets closer than a razor, but those trimmers right there are hitters. I'm using a number 2 with the grain right now, and I decided, you know what, let's just knock it down. Let's bring it down to a number 2 against the grain, and then around the chin area, we're gonna leave that a little bit longer, and then we'll line it up and try to make his beard as tight as possible. So I think at this point I'm at a number 3 guard, and you can see I'm kind of coming off his jawline. And then I'll kind of freehand and shape his chin area. And then the mustache area I bring down to a number 1 close, but it's gonna look dark, just as dark as that number 2 that we use on the side of his beard. And so now let's give him a crispy line. If you notice, I switched to my silver skeletons because those are a much more comfortable trimmer, and since the face is such a delicate area, I like to be safe and use a more comfortable tool. I'm not gonna lie, from this angle, that haircut's looking tough. But right now, I'm trying to do my best to keep the beard symmetrical on both sides. And I am kind of referencing both sides. I am looking, even though the video doesn't show it, I am double checking and making sure. Alright, and what you saw me do is cocktailing two different products. I mix fiber and royal wax together. I'm putting that in his hair, and the reason why I did that is because the fiber can be really shiny, almost give him that greaser look, and the wax is more of a natural finish. And so mixing the two, I just feel like it would have helped, you know, give it a nice healthy look without too much shine. So that's why I mixed them together. All right, and the reason why I styled it before I did the lineup is because I want any hair that's supposed to be off of the forehead, I want it off the forehead. And by styling it, then any little hairs that are kind of sticking out that should be trimmed, then I can separate the two and go ahead and line them up. And remember, whenever you're cutting lines into people, there's two lines, the top and the bottom. So, and then this little technique right here, because this hair is coarse, I'm just trying to freehand any little flyaway hairs. So we've applied shave gel to his face, especially the beard area, and now we're gonna do my favorite part, the razor. And this is a triple cartridge razor. This is my product. You can get it at tomb45.com. It gives you 3 different exposures where the blade sticks out either very little, medium, or it sticks out, it's exposed a lot. And you know, every barber has different preferences, especially if you're new. It's nice to be able to try out different exposures. What I typically do is I use minimal exposure for like bulk shaves because it has more stability on the blade, and then for detailing I like more exposure. And guys, yes, I do charge $100 for this haircut. I am accepting just a few more clients. If you're interested, you can email me at basio@tomb45.com. YouTube haircuts are always free. This is the before, guys. Now look at the after. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit the like button, let me know what you think about the cut. And if you're part of the Tomb 45 Academy, we're going to be doing a live stream really soon. I'll announce in the Discord about how to raise your prices with real life experience. Love you guys. See you on the next video. We almost at 300K.